Greetings.
We're a Survivors Band.
You're watching Irie Fire's Burning Sessions. Blessed love.
Tour guide.
Hey.
Yo! Yes, I.
Big up.
Greetings.
Rockers.
More fire.
Keep on surviving.
Love the life you live. Lead the life you love. Love the life you live. Lead the life you love. You should lead the life you love. Lead the
To make a long story short, we're with another group. We got kicked out. The group mashed up, and some people don't like to hear me say kicked out, but exactly that's what it was. And we separated, formed another group. We were thinking about several names. One of the name I brought in was the Castaway. Because I felt that way after the last band, what they did to us. I felt that like I was cast out. And tomorrow's the one that came with the word, instead of casting out, let us say we're surviving. So we came up with Survivors. Stuck.
Survivors keep on surviving.
Keep on surviving.
You should lead the life you love. Lead the life you love. It a go murder, them a go charge for. A pure chemical industry, them a run from cultivation. Goodness and mercy, driven from the minds of the people. Lamentation, Josiah, deliver, Josiah.
I wanted to perform with a Caribbean artist. It would be a Caribbean artist. It would be the Mighty Sparrow for me. I actually played with him already. It was highlighting my drumming career.
Midnight.
Midnight.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's good.
Mr. Benjamin's son. I love the bass in Midnight.
It returned well, or Steel Pulse. I grew up with those groups, and I love them to the bones.
You love, lead the life you love. The mountains of Africa, they are familiar to me. See the black sons of Kush, they were scattered everywhere for as far as the eye can.
I also share the same love that Tamara expressed for Midnight Band.
Midnight.
I would say either Midnight Band or Steel Pulse. The music from both of those bands are very inspirational to me. Steel Pulse from younger, because they've been around for a long time. So I would say those bands are the most influential towards myself as a singer, singing along with their music. So yes, those are the two bands I would love to work with.
Lead the life you love. Lead the life you love. No tears. You don't shed no tears. You don't shed no tears, oh boy. No tears. Your body is your temple. Your one and only temple.
I'll kind of step away from the reggae thing. I like to do some songs with Kassav. That's one of my favorite bands, Zouk music.
Yeah, big man.
Grew up on Kassav, been listening to Zouk practically all my life, so I like to do something.
The life you live, lead the life you love the life you live, lead the life you love, should lead the life you love, lead the life you love.
I would say one of the highlights of my career would be singing on a stage, a big stage, which was for the Haiti benefit when we were still kind of coming out there.
I remember that.
So I would say that was one of my highlights. I remember being nervous before going on stage, but once I got on stage, I felt very comfortable and ready to just give them the music. And I think one of my inspirational moments that would come to mind would be having met Mr. Benjamin's son, who is part of the Midnight Band. So actually having met him face to face and getting a keyboard lesson from him at one point as well, and getting some tips from him in terms of singing and just being on stage and performing and that kind of thing.
The main one has been following Kiva to sing with a band. And because of that, I'm now in a band, and everything in between is a long story, but yeah, that was hugely inspirational because I started from a spectator, really, and a fan. And here I am.
getting inside the pasture, recreation ground to perform, was a priority. Once you got in there to perform to the national crowd, I think you tell yourself, well, you have arrived. So we did that. I did that in a band named Revel, and performing on that stage, man, it was like really classic.
No tears. You don't shed no tears, boy. No tears. Your body is your temple, your one and only temple. Your body is your temple, your one and only temple. Love the life you live.
Survivors right now is a big experience for me. See problems along the way when I started out. I still see some problems, but they're riding them over so smooth that sometimes it's just floating away. Don't know where I fall because of what I think and see of certain problems and hoping that we won't drop in them, even though I know we can drop in them. So it's still a work in progress.
Yes.
But, you know.
I find when we're good, we play good music.
Yeah, when we have good vibes.
When we're not good,
amongst us,
we don't play good music.
Yeah. But most of the times we have very good vibes amongst
Yeah.
ourselves, so we are often able to create music that gives people vibes as well.
Sometimes you're playing some venues and they don't have, just a few people. You don't have that energy. Once if you have the crowd and you can feed, they can give you that energy. You can give them back that energy. That's when most of the time, you put out some of the best performances.
Trixie, come on and ride it. I said the Robbie, cause this rhythm is idol. Ooh, running, I know dance all a good night. I say now, ooh, running, but the rhythm I could feel.
Musicians in Antigua are not treated properly. They are looked down upon. They are disrespected. People come and take musicians actually just as you have a nice drink, and when it's all finished, you throw away the cup. It may sound rough and cold, but that's exactly what it is. If I could change it, I first would have to work hard on getting things put in place, maybe laws, even though I know the respect wouldn't be coming forward readily, but the laws that you put in them, especially like the places that you're going to work for, you gain the more respect.
If I could change it, I would go back in time a little bit and see if we could form some sort of band union, band association, because I think a lot of the problems that musicians experience today are of their own doing, are of our own doing. We first don't respect our own, so nobody's going to respect us. To market, what you need to do, you need to get your music out there. Out there means internationally as well as regionally. And that's very expensive, extremely expensive. See, it's a big job to market properly. But if you can find someone to do that for you, it's almost automatic. People will know of you, they'll want to hear you, and you'll get tours and you go from there. Unfortunately, a lot of our musicians don't want to be managed because they don't have the discipline to understand that the manager's job is to say, I have gotten you a job at this place, you have to be on time. You cannot, and a lot of us are not disciplined. And we come when we want, leave when we want, and we have an attitude on the stage, and we want to drink while we're playing, and have all this kind of unprofessionalism.
Survivors been playing on the radio. Rhythm in the dance hall, man, I tell you, man, you got to go.
Some of the DJs here, they're looking for payola. They're looking for
Grease bomb.
you to give them something to play your music. That's part of it too. They will play other people's music, but you have to pay them. And I think it's a thing that's happened all over, because I was watching a documentary the other day, and I saw the musicians from the Philippines, and they were complaining about the same thing.
Yeah.
I said be rubbing, cause this a rhythm is vital, vital. Tell you now, who run it? I know dance all I go nice. I say now, who run it? Rhythm like
Yeah,
a
one stereotype is a phrase that's been coined and been associated with musicians. We're going to work tonight, you're going to play out.
Yeah.
That's the term that's been used. So a lot of people, even the people who are hiring you, again, the tourist outlets, they think that you just turn up and you just have the equipment and it doesn't cost to have a microphone or even a mic cord, and they don't appreciate that it is a business. Because you are spending and you're trying to get a return on your investment.
Sometimes they refuse to provide a proper place for you to play.
Yeah.
I used to do solo gigs. I'm going with $7,000 US equipment. People want you to put your expensive equipment in a sound.
who run it? Who run it? Who run it? No dance all I go nice.
Even the musicians don't see it as a business. Again, part of it is our own fault. We don't sell ourselves properly. We will go and we'll get a gig and we'll be happy to get a gig, and whatever we can get for it, we're happy.
That's what brought me out of I used to do solo gigs and the money was good. And after we had a hurricane here, some of the guys telling me, oh, you can do something else. You can do something else besides music. So 4 men will go and play for what I play for as a solo artist. And some of the hotels will tell you, you take it or leave it.
And there are lots of good musicians and good bands here in Antigua that cannot get too far. Because one, they're not selling themselves properly, and they're giving away a lot of the product that they're trying to sell, and they don't demand the respect of the people they're selling the product to. And one way to do that is if you are contracted to start at 8, you start at 8. A lot of us, we're indisciplined. We start late and we have an attitude and we don't recognize we're selling a product and we want somebody to buy that product. So the whole business approach is lacking. And so if the business approach is lacking from you who are selling the product, the person buying it is not going to see.
Said I'm down, but not out. Won't give up without a fight. Down, but not out. I'm gonna fight both day and night. Down, but not out. Be up before the count of 10. Down, but not out. I'll get up and fight again.
I used to fire musicians for not coming to practice. You didn't come to practice. When you came the next day, there was a check for you. If you had a keyboard, your keyboard is there. Whatever you have is there and your money. You go ahead. I'll find somebody else. Because I used to do that for a living. And you don't mess with my bread and butter.
See, that is why Ronnie would end up playing in places like Madison Square Gardens and so on. Because he had that kind of demand on that you have to be disciplined to be in the band. Yeah, that's part of being a musician. A musician is a special person. A musician is not an ordinary person. It has been said that musicians' brains are bigger than a normal person's brains. Because they have to be used in different parts of their anatomy at different times and different timing. It's not something you just take for granted. And the most successful bands have been very disciplined.
First time I performed in New York, I remember going to Galaxy, where it takes about three artists to fill the place. And I was the featured artist. I was the only artist that night, and packed the place. And then the other night I went to the garden, Madison Square Garden. I was the only Antiguan between all these different people. Most artists from Trinidad, Arrow, all these people. And the guy announced me, the MC announced me as being from Virgin Islands. So I called him back, I said, oh, you go up there and tell them I'm an Antiguan.
But not out. I'll get up and fight again. Got to make it through the maze. I can't live my life in a day.
first advice I would give to a young musician is to be willing to listen.
Learn your craft.
Unfortunately, a lot of us don't reproduce what we think we're reproducing correctly because we don't listen. And if you listen to the radio station at this time of year, you hear a lot of people singing out of key, which is very embarrassing. A musician must have good listening skills. You're not going to be playing by yourself more than likely. You're playing with someone else, you have to listen to what they're doing so you can know how to complement each other.
In order to go there and perform as a professional, you have to know your instrument. You have to put hours, at least 45 minutes a day. If you can get an hour a day, every day, make sure you touch your instrument.
I remember playing with my first band and played a silent guitar for months. The band's name was Harmony Kings. And I played the guitar and they're not turning that up until they're sure that you can play what you're supposed to play.
You know why that was? Because those musicians had pride in the product.
And we have a lot of distractions. A whole lot of distractions. And a lot of men just come and actually play music for females. Not for the music. On the stage, playing, music get tight, audience, some female in the audience do some kind of funny thing there, and from the time the band go a slight break, the man gone. Time come to go to play, you have to start play without this, somebody say your product will never be. Yeah!
Yes, I.
More fire!